Hey, Elliot. Thank you. It's so good to talk to you again.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. And 25 years, right? I told you we should be having like a joint mutual anniversary party together.
Oh, you know what? Let's throw that. Let's put it together. I'm going to let you pay for that, but let's get that
done. Well, thanks for sharing the time and airways and letting me talk a little bit to you and your listeners about what we're doing on Sunday with Legacy on Ice.
Dude, I think that is first of all, the speed in which it came together is incredible. The number of people that are involved from the figure skating community is incredible. I mean, a real tip of the hat, not just to that community, but for being able to put everything together. It's unbelievable. It really is unreal.
Thank you. It's a real community effort, very, very grassroots. And there's a production company, fantastic, called Entertainment Gang, and the U.S. Figure Skating group. And they approached us and said, hey, we have to do something about this. So we brought in the Community Foundation, DC Fire, and EMS, and said, what can we do to help the families, help the first responders, and then also what can we do to pay tribute back and help the skating community? And so we did put this together very, very quickly. We just announced who all of the sponsors are. It's an unbelievable list, and I think we're going to sell it out. It's this Sunday at 3 o'clock. There's a couple of tickets still available, so I hope your listeners will dial in and try to find the tickets. And essentially what we are doing is allowing the DC community to come together and really show some empathy and almost have a group hug, if you will, in the face of this tragedy. And, I'm really honored and humbled that we can provide the convening space, and we're doing all of the production. It'll be streamed live on Peacock. A week later, it'll be on NBC. It'll also be live on Monumental Sports Network on Sunday. We'll be almost, I don't want to say doing a telethon, but, we want to continue to raise money.
Sure.
100% of every dollar that we're going to raise will go there. www.legacyonice.com. And, we really want to embrace these three communities and the stories that we've been hearing literally every day. It's what's really activated Venture Global and American Express and DXC Technology and MGM and all of our sponsors, because you just can't put yourself into this position. We go to our practice facility, and some of these skaters who were lost, they would practice there.
Sure.
There were coaches from there, and now people leave memorials and they leave flowers outside, and every moment of every day we're kind of reminded of this. And we hear stories that are so moving. There was a first responder who obviously in the military and went into the water, and he brought up the remains of someone who was in a military uniform. I mean, it's unbelievable. And waited with the body, with the remains, standing at attention for hours and hours and hours, waiting for, the body to be identified and to be treated and taken away, just out of respect.
Right.
We're just hearing stories like this all of the time. And the first responders oftentimes are forgotten, if you will, or neglected in this. And so, at our arena, we're giving the families and first responders suites, bringing them in, treating them to this moment where they can share their stories, meet other family members, be able to meet first responders. And I really think it'll be a very, very special moment for our community.
You know, Ted, you talk about all the different communities, if you will, that are impacted. And I remember, we came in that morning and we were talking about the crash. It was frigid. It's freezing. And obviously your first thought goes, I can't believe, Jesus, these poor people on the plane. And you crash, you go into the water, the whole thing. But then we were talking about it from the first responder standpoint. I'm glad you mentioned that is, you're sitting at the firehouse, doing a spaghetti dinner, whatever the hell you're doing. And then all of a sudden you're racing into the Potomac, and we'd hear those stories about divers having to go down. Ted, I'm not equipped for that. I can't dive and go in there and see a dead body and want to take it out of the water. It's unbelievable what those guys had to do. And then, like you said, you start hearing the stories afterwards of, from family members, or, we heard from a bunch of the family members of the group of 7 hunters who had gone out on a hunting trip, and came back, and what they're going through. And every one of the stories is, obviously it's very tear-jerking. It's very, very sad. But you hear the greatest things about these people from their family, where they're trying to remember and just trying to get by. And you just hear the most loving, kind things about the people that died in the plane crash. The stories, very sad and unbelievable, but also very kind and very nice and very heart-filled. And as sad as it makes me, I do like hearing those stories.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a part of what we'll be doing. We'll be profiling, obviously, the families. We can't forget, too, the importance of the Northern Virginia community to the skating community. And, we lost future champions. And, that's why the legacy on ice and all of the great skaters from, Olympic history and ice capades and the like are all coming out in a really, really big way, because, they would participate in tournaments. They would go away, and we hear stories that are equally gut-wrenching.
Sure.
Let's say a family, a mom and dad, and a daughter went to the tournament and are coming back, and they had a younger sister who was staying with friends.
Right.
And now, there's orphans amongst us. And so, the community has to remember this and find ways to make sure that these families have some healing, have some attention, have some economic resources. And so, if we had our way, we'd raise a ton of money, which I think we will be announcing that we're getting close to a goal. We're giving 100% of the dollars and splitting it a third. And it'll be not only through some charitable organizations, but, we're hoping, and we've been instructing through Monumental Foundation, that dollars go directly to these families and directly to first responders, because they're suffering from PTSD.
Right.
They might need to take some time off. They're going to need therapy. They're going to need ongoing support. And so I've been, I talked with the D.C. Police Commissioner last week. She really, really understood what was happening. The fire and rescue groups, the military, it's really been a communal effort. And, I think we'll have 20,000 people in the arena. I think we'll have a lot of people here who, in a very dignified way, can celebrate the life and times of these families and first responders. And also, the talent that will be on the ice.
Dude, the lineup is great. And it's like you said.
Why don't you read some of them and tell me some of your memories of them? Because I said Peggy Fleming. Oh my God,
No, but a lot of
Nancy Kerrigan,
right?
Yeah,
we know him from the Olympics. Michael Weiss, Michael Weiss has been. I feel like we've known Michael forever.
Oh, yeah, he's been around forever. Right.
But you get Brian Boitano, Nathan Chen, Johnny Weir, Michael Weiss, Scott Hamilton, Sarah Everhart from Haymarket, Peggy Fleming, Christy Yamaguchi, Ilya Malinin. Dude, that guy is an animal. That guy is insane. And I feel like because it's not a competition that they're just going out to play. Yes. Do I expect to see Michael Weiss doing 4 flips? No, probably not anymore. But Ilya Malinin, that dude's going to go off on Sunday.
Yeah, I think this is their way of paying tribute to. They've lost family members, they've lost friends, they've lost coaches. It really, when you talked about watching it on television, watching it on the internet, and it was a remote event. It's terrible. A plane, helicopter in our community, hadn't been an accident in a couple of decades, and then as the moments went on, and we started to find out, the plane was coming back from Wichita. It was coming back from a skating tournament. There was, now it's getting personal.
Right.
And then the story started to trickle in. And, it's 68 people. But the amount of the multiplier effect on the community has just been enormous. And, the media has been very, very, very empathetic and, has continued to tell the story. But the way life works, people will move on. And so I said, we've got to do something. We've got to be able to execute it and do it very, very quickly. The Caps have a game tomorrow afternoon, and then we were able to plug this in on Sunday afternoon. And it's a busy time of year, and so we got lucky to be able to do it. And our company just put their hands up and said, we will do everything needed. We'll cooperate totally with every group here. We'll take the lead. We're a lead donor in this. Obviously, we're paying for the building and paying for all the staff, and then we've raised money amongst our partners, and I've gone out and I've been putting the arm on people, and Jim Van Stone has been putting the arm on, and it hasn't been a very, very hard sell.
Right. Because
what could be more important than, showing our love and embrace for these 3 communities.
And Ted, you talked about the skating community and how tight that is. And listen, I had 2 kids that came up playing hockey, but every morning that they were out there skating on the other sheet of ice at MedStar were all the figure skaters. And it's no different whether those rinks are Reston or Ashburn or Montgomery or Haymarket or any of them. One side's playing hockey, the other side is figure skating. And then you get to later in the day where teams are practicing. Figure skaters are on the other side practicing, and all the parents all mixed together. Everybody's got coaches and different coaches that are doing stuff. And so it really is. That community is really, 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 really tight and really, really strong. And then the coaches who are coming back from Wichita, no coaches from Reston and Ashburn and MedStar. And those coaches had other kids. Those tentacles really, really run long and deep.
Yeah, it's very, very true, very astute for you to mention that. Zach played hockey, and you'd go to the Reston rink, you'd go to Ashburn, you'd go to MedStar, and yeah, that's what you would see, right? You'd see the moms and dads, and they'd be at the little coffee shop cafeteria, or you'd be going into the store, and you'd run into somebody, and their son would be playing hockey, and their daughter would be figure skating, and that community is really, really tight. And our area, the unbelievable thing about Virginia, Maryland, D.C. is how the prowess, if you will, of the young athletes, right? You just go through the Olympics, Katie Ledecky, Michael Phelps, right? The skaters. Boston is the other big community for the figure skaters.
Right.
Nancy Kerrigan coming. But a lot of that, the rise of the Capitals, the Ovechkin effect, the building of all these new rinks, our investment in the rink with the city of Arlington and Boston, it's all really uplifted, if you will, that community. And we're now one of the most important skating, hockey, youth hockey communities around. And you're exactly right. I mean, it's a family business, right? It's a family endeavor. I used to love going to a Caps game on Friday night and getting home at 11 o'clock and then having to get up at 5 on Saturday to bring Zach out to a practice in Ashburn at 7 o'clock. And it's like, and you'd see all the other hockey moms and dads there. And, it's what we do. And so that's why this was such to lose so many moms and dads and children it's just been devastating for the community. And, time will heal some wounds that
Sure.
It'll always be with us. But we want to take this moment right now, raise as much money. I'm unabashedly asking for help and support. I mean, these families need help. The first responders need help. So, buy tickets, buy a sponsorship package, watch it on streaming, watch it on NBC, watch it on Monumental Sports. There'll be easy ways to give. I don't want to say it's a telethon, but I do want us to be promoting on air because, this is the moment and we will be able to, be very proud of the efforts that the community brought together to help.
Can I switch gears for a couple minutes?
Sure.
Opening night of the Capitol season, I ran into you in the outside of the building, and we talked briefly about. I told you I thought the national press had been completely unfair to the Capitals. You agreed with me. Jesus Christ, were you and I right? This team is unbelievable. Oh my God!
Well, you know what's so great about our business and industry? Literally last night, as I was leaving. I'm driving out the driveway and fan tells me to roll down the window and he goes, "Hey, you suck." Right? And it was like, you're right. I agreed. I said, we had like this fantastic weekend, right? We were like the greatest team in the history of the NHL.
Scored 15 goals. We came back from the break. We were on fire.
Yeah, and we lose 2 games in a row, and I didn't like the way we played. I don't think anyone liked the way we played.
I hope not.
And,
it was horrible.
But we've set a pretty high standard. We're still in first place in the East. Very, very long season. But yeah, we have a really, really good team. We've been fortunate. We've been healthy. And health and depth is so important. Tom Wilson missed last night. We were able to slide Vrana in, but that's been a big, big key for us. And then Alex has come into camp, came back after this little break, and man on a mission, which is okay. I demanded from the organization, keep the team together, add to the team. If we have a great team, then I can break the record. But I don't want to be all the focus on me. We have a bad team, and everyone's looking at me to score goals. And,
right.
That's such a strong leadership position. And so here we are, first place in the East, second best record in the league, and Alex is 12 goals away. He's 24 games left. The focus really is on having momentum, being healthy, heading into the playoffs. And the records will come. I mean, Alex is signed, obviously, this year and next year. So I can say now with some confidence that I believe he will break the record. But the focus really is on team success.
Yes.
And it would be awesome, right, to win another Stanley Cup.
Yes.
I don't want to jinx that, but in the next couple of years. And
Ted, you own the team. You should be able to say that. It's okay to say you want to win one.
Right, and then we have such a good front office. I mean, I think our coach, very, very young, very innovative. Chris Patrick is one of the youngest, if not the youngest, GM in the NHL right now. Mac's done unbelievable. Brian McClellan's done an unbelievable job. Dick Patrick is so steady and such a great hockey mind and leader. I mean, we have a really, really good organization. And then we draft so well. Ross Mahoney is probably the least appreciated and best draft and developer of talent. And, we've got the best player in the NCAA, maybe the best prospect.
Has anybody called him? Has anybody called Ryan Leonard and go, seriously, you want to keep going to English class? Come play hockey.
Well, I'm hopeful. I can't predict.
Playoff push.
Yeah, well, he's enjoying college, and they have one of the best teams in the NCAA, and they'll play through their version of March Madness, and then who knows what happens after that. But gosh, that could be a good jolt of electricity for us as well. And I saw Sonny Milano was skating and feeling a bit better, and so you've got to have depth. You've got to be deep. We've been blessed. We have two terrific goaltenders.
Right.
That's really, really important. Our defense has been just really, really terrific as well, and our coaching staff is great. And so, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised when we had the best record in the league, and we just didn't look like the confidence we were playing with. That I thought we'd be really, really good. I just didn't think we would be the best team in the league. I'll be blunt, being in second place, that feels good. I mean, I've got 3 President's Trophies, which I always hid in the closet until we won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, then you bring them all out. Here they are. Here they are.
Right.
Hey, Ted, are you going to, will you, I remember we were, the talk about the OV chase, right? And that Wayne and Gary are going to travel around starting at like 5 goals or something. Everybody and their mother obviously wants it to take place at Capital One. Listen, if we could script it, it would be the easiest thing in the world. Are you going to be for road games? Are you going to travel with Wayne? Will you travel with Wayne and Gary?
Oh, I travel with, I won't be traveling with them, but I will be traveling to the games, and I'm sure I'll be seeing them. But I'm hoping Alex's family, that we can be gracious hosts with them, that they'd want to be there. I'm hoping that that many of my partners, I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of sponsors and fans that want to be a part of it. And I don't think we won the Stanley Cup in Vegas, right? That felt pretty good. I'd like to win another Stanley Cup one day and do it on home ice.
Oh my God!
Fans.
God!
I believe in miracles. I just don't believe in planning for them. And Alex has approached all of this in exactly the right way. Don't talk about it. Don't focus on it. If it comes, it comes.
Right.
When it comes, you can't plan for it. And I think that's exactly the right way. Someone asked me the other day, when did I think it could happen? And I said, last game of the season is on the road in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And there's 24 games left. He needs 12, a goal every other game. It could happen there.
Hey, listen, I went on record saying he was going to score 12 last night, and I effed that up a little bit. So, yeah. I mean, who knows? You're right. You can't script it. Hey, you know what? You know what we do have to find a way to fix, Ted? You're powerful. You could get this done. So I had Joe Beninati on Monday, right?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for doing that. Thanks, Joe, too, right? As if I control the national rights.
Ted, come on.
But that last game of the season, we were able to reclaim, and a little method in the madness. I also think we can do some innovative things. Like we could produce the game and have it so that the highlights and the broadcast and the streaming afterwards, and so that it's always memorialized. But we're going to do everything that we can.
Ted, do something. Come on.
But the national partners pay the NHL a lot of money, and they distribute that times 30, and then we own our local network, and we're on national TV a lot, and there's rules. Gary's empathetic. Gary understands, but but don't blame me. Right?
Well, pay them. You're rich. Pay them all. Just give them all their money back or something. Come on.
I wish it was that easy. Don't you think, though, they think this is big news, right?
No, it is, and it should be. It should be. Yeah. This moment should be captured on national television, 100%. And the voice they should hear should be Joe Beninati.
Well, I agree with you. And we'll try to be innovative. My son is working on some interesting ways to keep everybody happy.
I tried to say, let's do it as an old cast.
But if he breaks the record on that last game, we wouldn't have an issue.
Right. Okay, well, we'll just script it. We'll just script it out that way, and that'll be it. Hey, two other things real quickly, and then I know you got to jump, okay?
Yeah.
Number one, I want to commend and I saw that you guys made the announcement yesterday that the Mystics are moving a couple of games to larger venues. Yep. Dude, that sport has exploded.
Yeah, remember you wanted to play against them one time,
We
right?
did play, and we lost.
Yeah,
we lost.
And you got your butts kicked. Okay? But that was, to me, the turnaround of the media starting to give respect, because I remember you said, hey, you know what? I was wrong. The girls can play. And every generation, these players have great, great talent, and the WNBA is ascendant and a growth stock, if you will. And, we're redoing the arena, so we'll play where we play most of our games, but we're going to play some games in Baltimore. We're going to play a couple of games at George Mason. It's, bigger seating capacity at both places. And, eventually the arena will be rebuilt and we'll have the 20,000 seats available, and we'll be the only place if we're having 8,000 seats or 5,000, 10,000 seats for George Mason, or 5,000 seats at ESA, or 20,000 seats. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to have that optionality. All right, I got to go. I got to go talk to somebody else.
Wait, I got one more yes/no. I got one more yes/no question for you.
Okay, yes or no?
Are you going to buy the Nationals, please?
It takes two to tango, and I still have great interest. And
all right, that's a yes from Ted. That's a yes from Ted.
Yes, I'm interested.
Sunday afternoon, 3:00, Capital One Arena, Legacy on Ice. Ted, I appreciate the time. Thank you, buddy.
You're the best.